Capricorn, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Capricorn Tarot love reading. I just set the smoke detector off a few seconds ago, right before I was actually recording this already, and lit the Palo Santo to clear this place out some, and boom, smoke detector went off. But today, we are going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. So let's get started here. What is going on between the two of you here? What's the mutual point of interest between Capricorn and their person of interest? Okay. What's going on with you, Capricorn? What's going on, Capricorn, as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between the two of them here in June 2025? What do we have? What's going on with your person, Capricorn? What's going on with Capricorn as romantic person of interest? Okay, we're getting an extra card, maybe more than one. Let's see what happened here. Nope, just one. No worries. All right. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading, the Knight of Cups. Knights are action takers and cups are about love and emotions. So this is actions toward love and emotions, romantic offers, romantic gestures, trying to move forward and advance a cup of love in some way. Right behind that, we have King of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is usually like husband, provider type of an energy. It doesn't necessarily mean legally married husband. This could be the way you're viewing the person, or the thing that you're trying to move toward is a husband type figure. Like this would be the person that would build their life around you, work together with you as equals to make the 10 of Pentacles, like the combined together life. And behind that energy, we got Justice, the Libra Major Arcana card. This is the most powerful card of balance in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. This card shows up whenever something is out of balance, and it's pointing out that something's out of balance and it needs corrected. Sometimes this will show up when something unfair or unjust is going on, and this is pointing out the need to correct that. It's about trying to balance something back out so that what's supposed to happen can happen. And then I have the Fool right behind that. This is the first card of the whole Major Arcana, first card of the whole tarot deck. This is a new beginning on something where we're taking the blind leap of faith on it. We don't know how it's going to work. We don't even know what the steps are. We're just saying, you know what, screw it. Let's leap off the cliff and we'll figure this out on the way down. We'll figure it out as we go. Now that can represent foolish behavior, taking unnecessary risks, taking risks outside of the connection, starting something new, maybe when that's the out of balance thing to do here. This could be saying that the husband figure is moving forward romantically, and that's the unfair piece of it. This could be, hey, I want to move forward romantically and view this person as husband type material, but something is out of balance here. That's the overall gist of what it looks like this is going to talk to me about. We might have to come back to that more as we go along, but this mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects you both in some way. It doesn't always affect you the same way. Sometimes they do it and you feel the ramifications. Sometimes they say or do something and it puts you in this state. Hard to tell yet, but the mutual point of interest is the Five of Wands. This is Leo energy. Fives are conflict. This would be a conflict in desires. In other words, a piece of me wants this and another piece of me wants that, and now I'm torn between these two things and I'm playing tug of war inside what it is that I actually want. Because this is the shared energy that's affecting you both, this could just as easily be telling me you're pulling this way and they're pulling that way, and instead of pulling in the same direction together, you're playing tug of war with each other. So let's see what this is trying to tell us here. What's going on with this Five of Wands? Why is that the shared energy that's affecting Capricorn and their person, please? Okay. Taking extra cards again. Looks like we got a decision here. Underlying this internal conflict, Three of Wands. This is Aries energy. This is essentially waiting on something. This is the stage after the Two of Wands, where you've got this fork in the road, this decision point about what do you want your life to be like. This assumes that that choice has already been made. You've already chosen the path that gets you to what you want. You've started taking steps down this path, taking actions to create the thing you want, and you fully believe the thing I want is going to happen. It just hasn't yet, and I'm still kind of waiting on that to materialize. So I could be internally conflicted because I'm still waiting on something that I was sure of and it's not here yet. I got Five of Cups right behind that. This is Scorpio energy of sadness and remorse about the past. The person's focused on these 3 cups that have been spilled. That represents all the love and emotions, all the time, effort, and energy that's been spilled and wasted. In the background, there's still 2 upright, completely full cups, and that can represent still feeling a connection here. I'm still waiting on something to happen that hasn't happened yet, and something has been spilled here. This is, at its core, this card's about whatever you focus on is going to dictate what emotions you feel. So here the person's focused on the past, so they're feeling the past. They're focused on this thing that they've lost, and they're feeling that loss. They're focused on something that's missing, so they're feeling that gap in their life. But they have stuff they could be focused on that would make them happy if they so chose to do that. This is usually like negative emotions, guilt, regret, something like that. And then I have the Ace of Cups in the background. A new beginning in love and emotions. Sometimes that can represent like starting back over at square one in terms of love and emotions, like starting back at the beginning. Sometimes this represents a new person is showing up here, and maybe there's a new connection looming in the background, and that could be what has something spilled here. It could even just be like I'm waiting on something to happen, and I'm waiting on this new cup to show up. I'm not 100% sure. That's a little foggy right there so far. When I clarify Five of Wands, I get 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 7 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. So I got 2 7s and a 6 on either end of that. That's peculiar in and of itself. This 9 of Pentacles is Virgo energy. This is a singles energy. This is a step backwards from the 10 of Pentacles that we mentioned when we talked about the King of Pentacles. This is single energy. It's physically independent, physically on my own. I can take care of myself. I don't need someone to physically or financially take care of me. It can be that independent kind of an energy. This could be a conflict about, do I want to be single or not? Like something is out of balance here, and I have what could be a new beginning in the background. So sometimes this is not always a person that is single. Sometimes it's a person that isn't single, but they present themselves as if they are. Could just be conflicted about being single. I'm sensing we got something coming apart here. I'm not getting ahead of myself. 6 of Cups is Scorpio energy. This is the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way things used to be. It can represent a deep emotional connection between the two of you. It can represent that there's history between the two of you. Oh man, this is like a really abundant, prosperous, in and of myself kind of an energy. I've got the past tied to that and an internal conflict now, like still waiting on something to happen. This can represent something from the past coming back up again or happening again, or even a person from the past. Could just represent history and the connection, and that could be what's causing the conflict about, do I be single or not? But in the center of it all, I have 7 of Wands, Leo energy. This is defensive energy. It's like defending my position on something, defending my stance on something, being willing to fight to protect something that I want or something that I believe in, even fight for a connection here. Could be conflicted about, am I fighting for it or not? There's history here, and the history feels like it might be worth fighting for. I'm not digging this one though. 7 of Swords is Aquarius energy. This is most of the time lying, cheating, deception, sneaking around behind your back, trying to get away with something they shouldn't be trying to get away with. This it's not the only meaning. Like, the reason the guy steals the swords is because he doesn't want those swords used against him. He doesn't want to get hurt by those swords. So it can be self-preservation. This could be torn between, do I fight for this, or do I sneak off? Do I run away? I got 6 of Pentacles with it. This is a Taurus energy of balance. It's generosity. It's reciprocity. Like, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. We take care of each other. Equal give and take. A balanced connection can represent trying to balance something back out, and maybe being torn between fighting for it or leaving. Like, the history of it here seems to be leaning toward fighting up for it. The other meaning that this card can have, especially with the 7 of Swords, if this is lying and cheating and deception, this can represent the merchant giving to 2 different people in the physical sense, which would be someone maybe acting single when they're not. Might be a history of that. There might just be a history of, like, when we weren't together, things were more stable, more balanced. I'm like waiting on something, and that's causing me to have like negative emotions here. And I don't know what this cup in the background is. That could be a new person has shown up. Maybe that's what this forward movement is here. I got 9 of Swords behind it. Fear, worry, anxiety, stress, thinking about something a lot and not wanting to face whatever it is I'm thinking about. That's the shared energy that affects you both here in June 2025, Capricorn. I will come back to this as I go through your energy. That way it makes more sense on how it applies to you. I will come back to it again when I go through your person's energy. Your energy in this connection, the first card is the most important. You got the Tower. Central for your energy is the Sun. And your final card is the Page of Swords. The Tower is the collapse of some important structure in your life. Sometimes this would be the collapse of the relationship itself. Sometimes this would be the collapse of the belief system, like the mental model of the world you were operating from, where you believed things were one way and now something has shattered that belief. So it can be the collapse of the relationship or the belief in it. See what we got going on. Why is the Tower the first card here in Capricorn's energy, please? Underlying the Tower, 5 of Wands. That is the shared energy affecting both of you. Leo energy, internal conflict, conflict in my desires. I don't know at the beginning if this is you pulling one way and them pulling a different way, or if you both are internally conflicted about it, but I have that internal conflict over here with maybe the collapse of a belief or the collapse of the relationship. I got 10 of Pentacles behind it. There's the combined together life. It's one step past this 9 of Pentacles. This is independent by myself energy. This is combined together, building a life together kind of an energy. There's an internal conflict in that building a life together, and something collapses. I've got the Emperor with that. This is Aries Major Arcana. This is a control energy. This is about taking control, taking charge of a situation, putting together a plan to get what I want, executing the plan. This is the person that calls the shots, makes the rules. This might be your person over here. It's almost like they're in control of the combined together life, or maybe the financial end of something. I got Page of Swords behind that. Like, in it, that's your final card out here. This is like an energy of someone who's trying to learn something or trying to figure something out, like investigating, researching, snooping around, asking questions, like trying to uncover information or figure something out. When I clarify the Tower, I get the 6 of Wands, Knight of Wands, Ace of Swords. 6 of Wands is Leo energy. This is recognition. This is you recognizing something, either about yourself, about this person, about the connection. Whatever it is that you recognize here, allows forward movement to happen for you. It could be that you're recognizing this Knight of Wands energy. This is the second fastest energy in the deck. This is sometimes called the player of the tarot deck, because this can be that person who is wishy-washy and in and out and back and forth. And 1 minute they're all gung-ho and wanting to move forward and passionate about that, and the next minute they're going a different direction. And a lot of times this energy can't make up its mind, and it's back and forth and in and out. It can be the player, because this can also be that person who comes rushing in all passionately and tells you everything you want to hear, but then they go somewhere else and do the same thing there, and they come back and forth. So I don't know if this tower collapses because you recognize either they're being a player, or you recognize that they're not fully committed to what they say they want, and maybe they pull back and go a different direction. But we have the Ace of Swords with that. This is the sword of truth, the sword of clarity. It's the sword you make decisions with. It's the sword you would use to sever a relationship with. Central for your energy, Capricorn, we have the Sun. This is the Leo Major Arcana energy. I feel like I've said Leo quite a bit. I've got some Virgo, some Scorpio, some more Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Sagittarius, Leo, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus. You could be Libra. You could be dealing with any of those signs. Hell, you could be dealing with any sign. This is a collective reading, so I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person the same way I would if I were doing a personal reading for you one-on-one. I'm tapping into collective energy, so I'm just going to keep calling these signs out in case they mean anything for you. But we got Leo energy here of the Sun, central for you. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. Really hard to get a better card than that. That would tell me that you have some happiness tied to this person, tied to this connection. It would also tell me that there has been some sort of a collapse to happiness here. Another thing that the Sun can sometimes mean is it's the card that comes right after the Moon in the sequence of the major arcana. So when the moon's out and it's dark outside and maybe some sneaky deceptive shit is happening and it's hidden from you, it's being kept secret from you, the next step is the Sun comes up and it's not dark anymore. So all that stuff that was hiding in the dark gets exposed and illuminated. So I'm going to clarify that. Tell me about the Sun. Why is that central for Capricorn's energy here in June 2025? Thank you. Come here. Come here. Well, Three of Wands, Aries energy of waiting on happiness. I'm expecting happiness to come out of this, and I'm still waiting. Sadness and remorse and regrets in the background, negative emotions, maybe being focused in the wrong spot. Eight of Cups, Pisces energy of emotionally detaching, physically detaching and walking away. The person in the card's walking away from 8 full cups of love because 8 isn't enough. This is someone who wants their 9th cup, their personal happiness. They want their 10th cup, that happily ever after where it's equal and we're both pouring ourselves into each other. And this would indicate I'm not necessarily getting that here. I'm waiting, and I have all this sadness and remorse and loss here associated to walking away from something. Walking away from King of Pentacles. So I've got this idea here of moving forward romantically toward King of Pentacles, but something being out of balance with that. Hence this internal conflict. Looking like a struggle between, do I fight for this or do I just sneak away? Happiness is here, but then when I clarify the Sun, I get the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love and emotions. This is usually a new person showing up. It's not always that. Sometimes it can represent starting back over at square one in terms of love and emotions, trying to get the happiness back. I do have recognizing what could be a new cup of love. But then there's this idea of waiting still on the bottom. So I'm not sure if you're recognizing that they have a new cup of love, or if you are just now recognizing you have some other new opportunity that you could follow toward happiness. Next, I have Queen of Swords. This is the Libra court card. This is she who knows the truth. She knows what's going on around her. Her head is above the clouds. She can see clearly, and she's holding her hand out because she's offering someone the chance to tell their side of the story. Problem is, she knows the truth already, so when the story they tell her doesn't match what she knows, she cuts their head off. So this is the off with your head queen. She's usually about speaking the truth on something and then cutting off a thing or a person that isn't in her best interest anymore. So there's this clarity, this illumination. There's a new cup. There's seeing the truth, probably having this conversation where things get severed. It's interesting to note that what's behind her back is that player type of an energy here. And then I get Wheel of Fortune. This is a change in luck and fortune. If things are going great and this card comes out, that means we're about to have this pivotal moment where things take a radical turn and probably into the telephone pole or off the cliff or something bad like that. If things are already going bad when this card comes out, that would be an indicator that someone's trying to correct course and put this back on track and like straighten it back out again. It can be a repeating cycle of something happening again and again. I've got this idea of speaking truth and maybe a severing taking place. I've got the sword next to it, like making some decision to sever something. It could be that, and then maybe this is not the first time we've had a collapse here. This could looking like a change in the luck and fortune of the happiness. Maybe seeing something that you can't really unsee and that changes things. Hence the internal conflict. Could be any of those type of things here. I got Page of Swords as your final card, Capricorn. Again, news, messages, communication. It's an energy of someone who's trying to learn something or figure something out. Could be you're snooping around. Could be someone is snooping around on you. Tell me what's going on with this Page of Swords, please. Maybe that's just you doing some thinking, trying to figure this out. Well, underline this Page of Swords, the Emperor. Again, Aries major arcana energy. This is control. This is taking control, taking charge of a situation, putting the boundaries in place, like calling the shots, making the rules, dictating policy. This doesn't necessarily feel like you as much as it feels like something that's in your way and you trying to figure out what to do about it. I got the Ten of Pentacles right behind it. This is almost like someone is in control of this combined together life. Someone is in control of maybe the finances here. Strength, I got Leo energy right behind that. I don't know if I said it, but 10 of Pentacles is Virgo. Strength is Leo. This is like a difficult situation where you're being forced to dig down deep inside yourself to find your internal strength and tap into it and put it to use. You have it, you're just being forced to summon it right now. Can also be you trying to tame this beast inside yourself, maybe this impulse, this urge, this desire that you have. And a part of you is thinking, okay, wait, that might be a mistake. Let me rein that piece of myself in and hold that piece of myself back so I don't do something I regret later. But it's going through some difficulty and probably struggling against a piece of yourself. And clearly, if you're playing tug of war with yourself, that seems to be fitting that description. When I clarify this Page of Swords, like you trying to figure something out, I get the Tower, Queen of Wands, King of Cups, 10 of Swords. The Tower was your very first card, so I've got it in both decks for you here. This is the collapse of something big and important in your life. If not this connection, it's the collapse of the belief system about it. It's tied directly to this Ace of Cups. So this could be a new person has showed up, and maybe you found evidence of that. Maybe you recognized that, and that led to catastrophe here. I guess it's possible that you have a new person show up, and there's this idea of successful forward movement toward that, which seems to collapse something. Either way that goes, I've got the Queen of Wands next, which is, this is usually like Aries energy. This is like bold, passionate, fiery, determined. Like, I know what I want, and I'm not taking no for an answer. This is usually not just I know what I want, but I know what I'm worthy of. I know what I deserve. Having a tower there does not seem to diminish what you want. Now, the other thing I do have to say is a lot of times this will represent another person that's not you, like the other woman, like the one that there's passion and desire and attraction for. It is the fire element queen, like the hot queen. I've got a player in that same row. I've got maybe uncovering information that collapses everything about that. I've got a new cup being illuminated, and romantic gestures and actions being taken probably by them, which seems to be the unfair, unjust thing. We probably have somebody starting something new and taking risks outside the connection, probably presenting themselves as single. And maybe even being defensive about it. When I get Queen of Swords and Seven of Wands in the same spread, that's like I'm calling you on your bullshit, and that's them going, "Nuh-uh, I'm not doing that. No, not me." Unfortunately, the very next card after that is lying, cheating, and deception. Next clarifier for Page of Swords, King of Cups. This is Scorpio energy. This will be a person you have a lot of love and emotions for. They probably have a lot of love and emotions for you, but the King of Cups doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He doesn't publicly broadcast how he feels about things, good or bad. So this could be someone who loves you and you don't really know because they don't express it. Could also be someone who's going through emotional turmoil and internal conflict and dealing with the ramifications of being sneaky and deceptive and giving to two people and presenting himself as single when he's not, and could be hiding all of that and not letting the cat out of the bag here. Like, whatever it is, it's big. It's a pivotal moment. It's some big change here that's tied to the tower, that's tied to this Ace of Swords and changing everything, and it's tied to this Ten of Swords too. Gemini energy of a swift, painful ending. Sometimes this is an ending you don't see coming, which is why the swords are in your back. Sometimes it's an ending in betrayal, hence getting stabbed in the back. And looking like maybe mum's the word here, like not really giving it away and forcing you to look for it is what it looks like. And it looks like you recognize new cup is involved, and it even looks like you recognize and see other person here, and what's behind your back is them being a player. So I don't think you actually saw that stuff, but you know that she's there. That's probably the pivotal moment that changed everything. And this one row only has ending in it. Okay, let's take a look at your person's energy, Capricorn. First card is the most important for them, Two of Cups. Central for their energy, the Hierophant. And their final card came out as Four of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Two of Cups is Cancer energy. This is a love connection between two people. It's also a two, and twos are choices. So this is a choice about the connection between the two of you. It could even represent a choice between two different cups of love. This is looking like we're single now. And maybe there's history of fighting for this, but maybe even history of them acting single when they're not. I got lying, deception, giving to two here. Choice potentially between lovers. Tell me about Two of Cups, please. Here's me trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I can't really do that anymore. Underlying this Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. Virgo energy. combined together life, building a life together. I get this for people when they're married or engaged or living together or like going down the path toward building the life together. When I got Two of Cups in there, like there's a choice in the connection when we've already combined lives together. Strength, difficult situation. This could be them trying to tame that beast inside themselves, trying to rein themselves in so they don't do something dumb. But then I got the Emperor behind it, taking control. This person's the one in charge of what's going on here. They're making the plan. They're executing the plan. I don't know that they're able to contain themselves. When I clarify, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Page of Cups, Seven of Cups. So it's okay that I'm seeing a lot of cups here, a lot of emotions involved. On the surface, that would be good, but I got Three Cups. The Cancer energy, this has got two meanings. Either this is about being together and celebrating, or even being like reunited and celebrating, or this is about a third party because we got Three Cups of love in the picture. I don't know if this person is trying to make a decision about your connection and get back together, or if they have another connection that they're trying to choose. Page of Cups, news, messages, communications about love and emotions, lovey-dovey messages, flirty behavior, early stages of like talking about it. The overall energy is the Knight, the next step past this. This is talking about it. This is acting on it. This is the least developed of the court cards in the emotional sense. That would be not fully emotionally developed, not fully emotionally mature. Even the fish in the cup can represent sleight of hand sometimes. Like, hey, look over here at this cool fish so you don't see what I'm really up to. I got Seven of Cups next. Scorpio energy, options and choices and confusion about the options and choices. There's a lot of different cups here, a lot of different ways this could play out. I don't want to pick the wrong cup and make a mistake, but these clouds of smoke can represent clouded judgment, clouded decision-making, emotions clouding everything up. It can even represent someone blowing a smoke screen, trying to keep things cloudy so you can't figure out what's going on. I normally get it that way when your intuition is telling you something, only you don't have any facts, and this would be them understanding you don't have facts, and I'm trying to cloud this up so you doubt your own intuition and you doubt yourself and you don't figure me out. I don't really have intuition screaming at me over here as much as I have she who knows the truth. I've got truth showing up here again. And I've got someone looking to uncover information or accidentally uncovering information, something getting exposed, something getting recognized. If this is probably them having options and being unsure about what to do and probably trying to keep everything like sneaky, deceptive, obscure so I can continue on doing that. This is the problem part. Not only do I have a card that could be like married, engaged, living together, building a life together, I've got the Hierophant central to their energy. Commitment. This is being committed to something bigger than themselves in a relationship. That would be in a commitment in the relationship. I've got husband type energy here in the background. Tell me about the Hierophant, please. Why is that the central energy for Capricorn's person in June 25? Thank you. Well, it doesn't get much more clear than that. Underlying this Hierophant commitment energy, Queen of Cups, this is Cancer energy. This would be the person they get love and emotions from. I got King of Cups over here on your side, meaning you probably have love and emotions for them, and this is probably you. I've got two Queens here in your energy. I'm getting another one now. Three Cups of love here. This, yes, so they're in a commitment with you. They probably receive love and emotions from you, but there's still this waiting energy in the background. I know what I want already. I've already chosen the path. I've started down the path, and I expect what I want to happen. It just hasn't yet. Seven of Pentacles, Taurus energy. This is another, so this is waiting, and this is a period of time that goes by. Like you planted the seeds already, but it's not fully developed yet. So that could be what I'm waiting on, is for this to fully pan out the way I want it to. This can also just represent a period of time where this person is pausing to reflect and take stock of this commitment and the feelings they have, and is this worth continuing to invest my time, effort, and energy into it, or should I cut my losses and move on? This waiting being in front of it, though, to me, this implies that something has been happening for a while. And maybe you just recognized it, and hence the collapse of everything. I got Five of Cups, sadness, remorse, regrets, guilt. It's negative emotions here in the background. Fives are conflict. I've got a Five of Wands as the shared energy affecting you. That's a conflict. I just saw the Five of Cups as a conflict. I'm getting ahead of myself, but the first clarifier for the Hierophant is another conflict. And even the Hierophant itself is card 5 of the major arcana. It rules over all the conflicts. So I got a whole shit ton and a half of conflict out here, all with this person's energy. First clarifier, Five of Swords, Aquarius energy. This is either a conflict in their thinking. More often than not, this is a big fight or a betrayal of some kind. At its core, it's a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event taking place around a commitment. I got 3 cups of love right beside it. This whole little circle right here, there's a connection, but potentially a choice between more than one person. 3 cups of love, and betrayal in either marriage or commitment. At the minimum, there's mental and psychological pain. This is sometimes winning at all costs. Like, as long as I get what I want, whatever happens to you is your problem. It's like, I'm just going to get what I want, period. I got Two of Pentacles next, Capricorn energy. 2s are choices. I've got a choice about the connection or a choice between more than one connection. And now I've got a choice between 2 physical things that I can't have both of at the same time. So it's like this one or that one. Do I or don't I? Which one do I take? Weighing options, looking at pros and cons. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Not fully committed. Not fully decided. Also not fully emotionally mature. That Two of Pentacles is in the same row as the can't stay committed to what I said I wanted type of an energy, in and out, back and forth player. Sometimes this can represent juggling 2 people. The player runs back and forth between 2 people. I got what could be sneaky, deceptive behavior, merchant giving to 2 people in the physical sense, and probably being defensive. Nuh-uh, no, I didn't. Even though there might even be a history of them doing stuff like that, acting single when they're not. Final clarifier for the Hierophant, 6 of Swords, Aquarius energy. This is about moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving rough, choppy waters of the past in the past where it belongs, and moving away from that and moving forward. This card carries some implied meanings here. First, it's the 6 of Swords, which implies the 5 has already happened. The betrayal has already taken place at this point. They can't change that. Their real control is about, what do I do moving forward? Do I carry the burden that this painful thing caused into my future with me so it keeps weighing me down? Or do I learn a lesson from that and carry the lesson forward with me so that it never happens again? And this is about moving away from something and moving forward. The way it's laid on the table, they're moving away from your side of the table into the future. And then there's either them obscuring options that they have, or them being clouded up here. Final card for your person came out as 2. We got 4 of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. 4 of Swords is Libra energy. 4s are stability. And swords are about the mind, the thoughts. So this would be stabilizing the thinking, stabilizing the mind, trying to calm my mind down so I can figure out what to do. This would be like taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break of some kind. Sometimes people break up and they don't want to call it a breakup. So they'll say we're on a break right now, or we're just taking some time. That could indicate that's what this is. I do have the Knight of Pentacles with it, which is the slowest moving knight in the deck. Very slow, monotonous forward movement. A lot of times that will be very frustrating energy because it usually indicates someone wants something to happen like yesterday, and I'm getting this slow drip instead, and it's like really frustrating because it feels like nothing's moving. This can also represent a person who knows what they're supposed to do. They just don't for some reason. Maybe they procrastinate. Maybe they just don't do it. Or even the opposite. I know what I'm not supposed to do, but I do it anyway. I've got that kind of an energy tied to the idea of pause, break, trying to figure out what to do. It's not uncommon for me to see people go on a break and then dude thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants and there's no consequences because, well, we were on a break. I'm picking that kind of a vibe up here. What's going on with that, please? Four of Swords. Jesus. Sure, nothing else. Okay. Let's get one more on this, please. Thank you. Okay, 2 is fine. Underlying that energy, Queen of Cups. There's the person they get their love and emotions from. I'm feeling like that's you. And either they know what they're not supposed to do and they're doing it anyway, or they're convincing themselves that they're waiting on you. I'm not following that. There's the waiting again. It's behind you. But then there's the sadness, remorse, regret, guilt, negative emotions, being focused in the wrong spot, 2 upright cups in the background. That's really feeling like everything is spilled between the two of you, probably because there was a 3rd cup of love involved and there's that other connection looming in the background. I've got that 2 of Cups as their first card. That's the other connection. The 3 of Cups is the first clarifier for that. Probably got a 3rd person involved here. King of Pentacles. Like, you can't make this up. It's like, that's more than once this deck has said King of Pentacles is doing this. This main deck is also saying King of Pentacles is moving forward romantically and it's unfair and they're taking risks that they should not be taking. And here, when I'm clarifying, like, maybe this pause, this break, this trying to figure out what to do and probably doing stuff I'm not supposed to and I'm aware I'm not supposed to. I get the Moon, Justice, 7 of Pentacles, Hanged Man. The Moon is fear, worry, and anxiety from uncertainty. It can also represent something being hidden in the dark, a secret being kept. What's in the row with the secret? Betrayal, 3rd cup of love. We just saw right behind the King of Pentacles, like it just said, King of Pentacles is doing this stuff. I got the unfair, unjust thing being pointed out for the need to correct that with Justice. And then here, very next card, Justice again. Something unfair is happening and it's being hidden in the dark. This person is, I'm just going to straight ass call them a fucking liar. They're a liar. They're saying they didn't do it. They did do it. They probably have a history of doing stuff like this. It would not surprise me in the least bit if the other person is not a brand new person. It's not like some stranger they just met for the first time. It's someone they know already that they have a history with. Sure, that might mean it's someone that they used to be in a commitment with, someone they used to be in a relationship with. It does not have to be that, though. This could be anyone that there is some level of history with, as in, like, maybe I worked with them. Maybe it was an old neighbor. It's someone that they know. And it's unfair, unjust, that they're keeping it secret, that they're juggling 2 people, that they're being so immature and sleight of hand about it. And this is the part that bugs me the most, I think. Seven of Pentacles is Taurus energy. It's that period of time going by. Either where they're pausing to reflect and take stock of this, it doesn't feel like that. This feels more like a period of time has gone by since they planted the seeds on this thing, and they've been waiting on it to fully develop. And the waiting has been going on behind you, behind your back, probably where you didn't see it. They were probably running around back and forth for a period of time before you got wise to what was happening here. That's part of what's unfair. It's like this has been a period of time where this has been kept secret. It's not just this happened last week and here we are. No, this has been going on. There's this moving forward, leaving you behind, moving forward, obscuring options and choices. The final card here is the Hanged Man. This is progress being halted. No forward movement is happening. Things are stuck at a dead standstill. This is a person who's looking at things from a different perspective than normal. That's why he's hanging upside down. I'm looking at things different here. The problem is things are external to them. They're looking at other stuff, not their own role in what's happening here. Sometimes this is the blame game where it's not my fault that I cheated on you. It's your fault I cheated on you. Or it's that hot chick's fault. If she wouldn't have walked by me looking all good, and I wouldn't have done it. It's some element of it's not me that needs to make adjustments. It's this external stuff outside of me that needs to be adjusted. It's definitely not someone who's fully mature, not fully accepting their role in the situation. I read these to you in columns, but then I connect it in rows as I go down. And on their side, they have one card that doesn't have anything with it in the row. Everything being stuck, them being focused on, it's not me, it's this other thing. On your side, same concept happened in this last column. The thing that's on your side all by itself, 10 of Swords, swift, painful ending, ending you don't see coming, ending in betrayal. This isn't, it's not moving. I don't know that there is a way to balance this out. I see you having internal conflict about it. Probably have a history between the two of you here. I got the history here. I've got the repeating cycle here in your energy. And then I've got like fighting for it, but then also that could just as easily be their defensiveness about, no, I didn't cheat on you. And then this could be a history of you trying to keep it together, trying to fight for it, even though sneaky deceptive stuff happens, trying to rebalance it, even though they keep giving to two. There is no progress happening on this side. Like this person keeps secrets. They do things that they know they should not do. They betray. It's like, how can you work with that?